Howdy, folks. It's Sunday and time for a new episode of Record Collecting with the Quill. Today, we're going country, or country rock music, I think is a better description, even though some of these artists I picked are definitely true country. I'm no big connoisseur of country rock music. In no way. As I said, I'm more into the old rock style, but there's some stuff I really enjoy, and especially growing up, my father was listening to a lot of country music and country rock music. So it's definitely in my blood, and I enjoy a good country rock album, usually on Sundays. For I don't know why, it's sort of a lazy day and you're just singing around and you can have a good country rock country album playing in the background. So I picked some of my favorites. If you're not into country, I'm sorry, you have to wait for the next episode because we're going all the way today. But before we start, you know the drill. Make sure you subscribe and hit that little notice bell and share with your friends. Well, I'm starting out with the oldest album of them all, but it's one I have had the shortest of time. I actually bought it yesterday on a recommendation from my dear friend Niklas at Duck's Vinyl. Buck Owens and his Buckaroos, and the album is called I've Got a Tiger by the Tail. Huge influential guy. He was really important for everything that came afterwards with Birds and Flying Burrito Brothers and Eagles. And I've been listening, as I said, I bought it yesterday, but I've been listening to it 3 or 4 times already. I really dig this album. Great songs, great playing, and fantastic harmony vocals all the way through, and super nice suits as well. The Flying Burrito Brothers lent the suits, I guess, a little bit later on. Great album, and a really nice US pressing of this one as well. Super cool. Next one, also hugely influential. This is sort of where country rock was born. The Byrds album Sweetheart of the Rodeo. Graham Parsons joined the Byrds and was a big part of this album and the sound on this album. Some great tracks on this one, which I really enjoy. And as I said, a big step for the Byrds as well. They took a sort of a U-turn from the jangly pop music and going country with this one, and probably one of their better albums. Definitely worth checking out. And then it all sort of mixed together. Graham Parsons was just with the Byrds for one album, and then he got this band together, the Flying Burrito Brothers. They made 2 albums with Graham before he was released of the band. This is the second one, called Burritos Deluxe. I really like the first one as well, Gilded Palace of Sin, but I think this is a little bit better for whatever reason. Some great tracks. Lazy Day, I'm really fond of. It was recorded by Byrds for the Sweetheart of the Rodeo session, but weren't released on that album. I think it's available on various reissues of the Byrds album. I prefer the Flying Burrito Brothers version as well. Cool cover of If You Gotta Go by Bob Dylan, and you have a song called Older Guys that I'm really fond of as well. And here you have Chris Hillman as well from the Byrds. You have Graham Parsons, and you have a guy called Bernie Leadon as well, who is on this album, my next pick, Eagles, Desperado. This one is a little bit when Joe Walsh started playing with Eagles, they became more and more sort of FM rock, but their earlier albums are definitely more in the country rock vein, and Bernie Leadon was really important. He joined them as the last original member. This is a great album. We have Desperado. That track obviously is a hugely influential song as well, and it's sort of a little mixed bag. Some country rock music on this one. And you also have Tequila Sunrise, a famous song as well. There the guys are all dead. It's a little bit difficult to see. I'm wearing glasses. I'm sort of doing my Graham Parsons impersonation, so I think I will skip those. Sorry, I'll see a little bit better. And speaking of Graham Parsons, the next album I picked is this one, Graham Parsons' second solo album, Grievous Angel. Features Emmylou Harris on a lot of tracks. He made 2 solo albums. The first one is good as well, but I prefer this one. Some great tracks on this one. Las Vegas. Sort of hard to see. My eyesight is getting quite bad, but a great one. Great harmony and vocals by Emmylou Harris as well. I really dig her voice, and we will soon come to an album of hers as well. But a good one. He died 26 years old, and he was hugely influential, and his friendship with Keith Richards played a huge part in Rolling Stones going a little bit country as well. I forgot to mention, but on the Flying Burrito Brothers, this one, there's a version of Wild Horses, the famous Rolling Stones song. It was released, this album was released first, and Rolling Stones didn't release their version until a year later. So, and that came from the friendship of Graham Parsons and Keith Richards. So hugely influential guy who never really got the recognition when he was alive, but afterwards he's seen as a forefather for all things country rock. But a great album as well, Grievous Angel. You also got to mention this guy, Willie Nelson, and I picked this album, Red-Headed Stranger, from 1975. I think it's his 18th album or something, and this is where he got complete creative control and recorded this one mostly by himself, and it's sort of laid back, and it's sort of a concept album about an outlaw, but some great tracks on this one. Blue Eyes Crying in the Rain, of course, and the title track as well. And you gotta love Willie. He's sort of the outlaw of country, doing everything his own way for all these years. Great artist, and he recorded some tremendous songs over the years. So next pick, Willie Nelson, Red-Headed Stranger. Yeah, I mentioned her previously. I've chosen to go with this one, Emmylou Harris, Cimarron. I think it's sort of an outtakes album of songs that was recorded for previous albums. But I'm quite fond of this one, even though it's outtakes. There's some great tracks. Rose of Cimarron. You have a recording. There's a track called Born to Run, and you would think it's the Bruce Springsteen track, but it's not. But she recorded, it's actually a Springsteen song for this one as well. The Price You Pay from the River album. That's really good as well. And Emmylou Harris, what can you say about her? Fantastic voice. She has truly the voice of an angel. I really love her singing. I was fortunate to see her live, I think 20 years ago or something, at some festival, and she's a tremendous singer, which I'm really fond of. And a really great album. Some fantastic harmony vocals on this one. As you usually have, if there's something that's sort of connecting the whole country rock scene, it's the great harmony vocals. Next one I've chosen is this one, Steve Earle, and his debut album called Guitar Town. Also a great album. It's sort of a mixed bag when you listen to this one. You have some classical country tracks, but you also have sort of more modern stuff, and a little bit of what you can hear on country rock radio, even though I don't listen to it, but a little bit more commercial as well. But he's a great artist as well, Steve Earle. He's written some tremendous stuff over the years and made some great albums, but I've chosen to go with his first one, recorded in 86, I believe, or released in 86. Great one. And last but not least, you can't talk about country music or country rock music without Johnny Cash. And I've chosen to go with a later one because it sort of sums it all up in a way. And I think he made some of his best albums in his later years. And this is one of the American songbook albums. I don't know what if it has. No, it's called Unchained anyway. I believe it's the second one. I think so. He did with Rick Rubin. And here he has Tom Petty and the Heartbreakers as his backing band, and Rick Rubin producing and choosing songs for him as well. There's a great version of Rusty Cage, sort of a weird choice for Johnny Cash, but he makes it really his own. You have a fantastic version of Southern Accent, the Tom Petty and the Heartbreakers song as well. And I read somewhere that Tom Petty, this is his favorite Tom Petty and the Heartbreakers album, is this album they made with Johnny Cash, and they sort of the perfect backing band for Johnny Cash, or for, yeah, they used it. They backed Bob Dylan even and did it good as well. So a great one. And as I said, he made tons of great stuff over the years, but I've chosen to go with a later one. So there you go. There was a real curveball for you, some country rock music. I'd love to hear your suggestions. Sorry. What are your favorite country or country rock albums? Or don't you like the scene at all? Well, tell me in the comment section. Also, I got to say thank you to everyone who came out yesterday. We did a short acoustic set and had a nice day at our friend Niklas' place called Dackes Vinyl here in Sweden. So it was a first time for me playing mandolin as well live. So it was sort of interesting. It's like playing a mini bass or something. It's really difficult to find all the notes. It's much easier on a big bass. If you want to have or more news about the Quill, we're doing a 30th anniversary show in our hometown of Mönsterås on May 26th. It's going to be a lot of fun. We have a lot of cool things planned for that one, and tickets are available now on our home site and our social media. So buy tickets now if you're interested, so you don't miss out on a really cool event. And follow us on social media, the Quill Sweden, for all the latest news. That's it for now. See you all again next week. Now I will sit back and listen to some more Buck Owens, I think. Howdy, folks.